Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Dispenser Show. It has been a while, and I'm so happy to be on this evening. I actually just got off a live stream about an hour ago with some people you may already know, 28mm RPG Rick, and Shadow and Sun, and a guy I just met today, and Abraham. He's got his own show, and uh, he he was a great inspiration as well because he talked about a lot of awesome things tonight. And yeah, and tonight I want to talk to you guys about creativity. And creativity is one of the main things that inspired me to start doing this kind of thing tonight. You know, like I've been watching a lot of videos and listening and fiddling around with different scenes and stuff like that. You know, it's really inspiring to know that there's people out there that really want to show people how to make a good live stream. You know, and right now I know I just do a lot of talking. You know, I haven't really seen me do anything, but maybe you have seen me do some things. You know, I've been on Rick's stream when we did Sunday night. We did our session. I was on there. You know, that's being creative and following a storyline and letting your guys take over and basically write the story itself from start to finish. You know, give a situation and then your guys go off and oh my goodness, like the things that we accomplished that night, and it's only about an hour and a half long. It's crazy what you can do with creativity. You know, look at me. Look at my last stream. You know, to being able to sort of show the beginning of my creativity when it comes to, you know, setting up my show. You know, I learned different ways to put lettering. I don't do many pictures, but from what you saw, you know, I learned by watching videos, and everyone's creativity is different. Like, this is mine. Rick has his own introduction. Shadow has his. Abraham has his. Like, everyone has their own type of creativity. You know, and listening to these guys talk about it, about their ideas on different aspects, on different things that they actually want to create. Wow, like it's a wow factor all over the place. You know, when I first started being creative, it was back before this, and it was with wood. I loved wood. You know, I love building, I love making things, making it look good, you know, putting the sander to it, making it smooth. Even in school, like, you know, I made wooden bowls. I made, you know, a toolbox. And being able to use those tools are, wow, it you know, it fascinated me, and it still does to this day. Like, I was so fascinated with the amount of tools that was done. I wanted to go for carpentry. So through high school, I got into a trades program that went to a major company that helped me, you know, get my foot through the door. And it took off. You know, I enjoyed it. I built a little bit, and then as that ended, I wanted to go where the money was. My creativity went out the window, you know? And doing things that don't require creativity, you know, being creative, uh, it was a part of my life for a long time. You know, working in the oil field, working delivery, doing all sorts of things that didn't require too much thought into it. It wasn't until I started working a mediocre retail job, and my assistant manager, Rick from 28 millimeter, he's like, you know what? Let's get you started on a game. Let's come over and play an RPG with me. I got a couple people coming over. Check it out. Like, cool. So go over, check it out, and wow, the eyes opened. I never even thought that. Like, I've heard of D&D, but I never thought it would be like that. Like, wow. I'm fascinated all across the board, guys. And this is my chance to explain why. You know, and about a year later, working with him, being a part of live streaming, a part of board games, a part of RPGs, a part of this type of world that inspired me. And wow, the more we started playing live stream games of Traveller, and the people that came in, you know our buddy Gordo, when he comes in on Sundays and plays with us, he's a great guy. He's very, very funny when it comes to certain aspects of the game. And Shadow, when I met him, like, right before he had his long break, you know, uh, wow, like, it's crazy. He wasn't very talkative up until the second time we started hanging out, like, just over the internet, just talking. And man, the creative things that he comes up with, and his parts in his streams are amazing. you know and what he does with his son. He does painting, he talks about games, he's all over the place, but it's great. He has the mindset to be able to accomplish all this. And even just on Saturday, I was a part of his live stream, and it was his 1 year anniversary, and everyone was coming in, and I'm like, wow, this is like an online family of people that do the exact same thing, except in their own way. And my eyes, my jaw just dropped. I'm just like, oh my lord. Like, all these people that come in here, I'm like, this is gold. I want to talk to every single one of them, and get to know these guys, because they're so cool. Like, it's new. It's something that astonishes me. It's something I take interest in. And it's all crazy. Like, I'm like, wow, you know. The creativity on what people do for their streams is astronomical. Mine, I think the way mine looks right now is plain Jane. Even though I spruced it up by spending hours watching videos and doing trial runs and going through, certain things to try and make it look good. Well, you got to be plain first. With your creativity, from what I learned, start with the basics. You know, Especially with the program I'm running, OBS. Start with the basics. Start with like 3 slides. Put something in them. See if they line up, and see if they look good. And then, if you want to put yourself in there and talk about these 3 slides, go for it. That's what I'm doing. I'm picking things up as I go along. And the inspiration is coming from an outsource all over the world. You know, even could be my next door neighbor I get inspiration from, because, you know, he could be creative. He could be like, hey, have you ever tried that along with this and put it up there? I'll be like, no. Try it out and see. Okay. I mark it down. You know, try it out. Why not? What could go wrong? You delete it after because it doesn't look to your standards, you know, your creative spark, I guess it would be. And it's surprising because my eyes, like I said before, got opened to a whole different ball game of people and what they can do, and their inspiration that brings to the table. I even take my wife. You know, she does uh, native traditional dream catchers and headdresses and stuff like that. I don't have any pictures, but when we get to that point, I will be posting, you know, how they're made and what she does and all that other fun stuff. And it's a creativity, it's an art. You know, if you have the knack for it, don't let yourself stop yourself. You know, I already told someone, I'm like, dude, you got the creative mind. Like, you want to add to this? Do it. You know, make them look different to what you've seen. You know, what you've seen in books or what someone else has seen. Do your own thing. You know, don't let it slip your mind, because if you do, man, you're gonna regret it. I regret a lot of things too. So, you know what I do? I write it down in a book. And then that way, you know, I can look back and be like, oh yeah, that day I thought of this and it was cool. You know, let's do something. Let's see if we can make a page on OBS so I can show people what I can do, you know, like what creative mind I have. It's easy stuff. You just need to have the mindset for it. You know, and I know my channel right now is nothing but bare bones and originality, with just me sitting here talking about a certain project or a certain thing, like my creativity tonight. I will have more stuff down the road, but I need time to get there. And you know what? My channel isn't going anywhere. I will be streaming more stuff, more chances than none for the next, I would say, 4 or 5 months. It would be me sitting here just chatting with you guys, because you know what? You guys are everything to me. You know, I've come to want to talk to you guys. You know, leave a message, subscribe. You know, leave a comment, leave something. You know, I want to get out there and I want to meet pretty much everyone out there that's doing this. I have a few names that I broke down and put in my subscribe list, and I subscribe to them. I don't even know them. I met them once. You know, I watch a couple of their videos, their streams. I'm like, hey, that's cool. I want to see more, you know? Subscribe. Because they're creative. It's something different that they bring to the table that I have never seen. You know, and wow, all the creativity in the world, and I'm here talking about it. You know, I want to get involved in it. You know, I got things coming later on that I want to start working on myself, and be the creative one that puts my special touch on. And getting help from other people to help me get through that and to help teach me how to do it properly, that's going to mean the world to me, because, my eyes are open to the the, the creative people out there. And you know what? I even got some of my own in my own house. Like I said, my wife. You know, my daughter's pretty creative with the digital arts and stuff like that. It's great. Watching her create a project and having her precise, her precision in her artwork is wow. It's fascinating. It floors me every time because, like I tell her, I draw a stick man. That's my creative art in drawing, anyway. So I want to broaden my horizon and get to know more of the creative arts, with painting, with building, with creating, even creating a map for D&D or Traveler, or making something out of nothing. Anyways, the creativity, yeah. I ramble on about creativity, but you know what? It's the biggest thing out there right now that everyone has on them. They just need to harness it and let it go. Let it flow through you, and you never know. It could be music. It could be art, like painting. It could be creating a deck. It could be a creative art. And building something. It doesn't matter what it is. If you're good at it, keep it up. That's what I always say. Oh man, this is great. And sooner or later I will have more people come in and be able to put their side of their creativity, or their side of D&D, or their side of Traveler. I'm still learning how to bring things in, and I'm using different programs that I'm getting used to now. So I will be trying different programs that would help bring people in as well. Like, I'm always learning with this product. The sad thing is, I don't even play games anymore. I'll play 10 minutes of a game, and I'll be like, oh, I thought of this already. Let's mark it down. Exit the game, mark it down, and open up my program and be like, hey, can we do this? Can we do this? Keep it up. It's great. But for now, this is what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to show people what I've learned. My pages are different. I added a little more flair to it than I usually do. Before, it was plain Jane. It does make a difference. Down the road, I'll probably add music once I learn how to put that in there. Maybe more flashy things that might get your guys' attention. And like I said, down the road, I will bring people in, and we will have a topic to talk about. Just being able to sit there and have the same, what's the word I'm looking for? The same thing in common, the same subject in common. There we go. It took me a minute. My brain's on meltdown here. It seems like every time I come on here, I sort of lose track, but then I get myself back on track, and I am getting better with it over time. But yeah, being able to sit here and talk to people and, you know, express your side of a situation that they're talking about, and to meet up in the middle, and to, you know, in the end just laugh about it, because, you know, it's your call, your call, your call, your call. It's great. You know, this is another way to meet people, and I've met a lot of people over the last few days, especially even in the last month, just by looking and listening and being a part of a bigger entity, I guess would be the best one. Like 28 millimeter, he knows a lot of people, and he's brought in a couple people that play the game, and from there, you know, you make friends that way, and you can talk to them one on one, share the creativity. So before I take off here, I'm going to sum it all up. If you have a creative mind, let it flow. You know, do what you're going to do. I do mine thing, my wife does hers, my kids do theirs, you do yours. Don't let it slip past, because that would have been like me years ago, before someone unlocked the door and let it flow through me, and I'm always learning now. You know? So that's everything I got, you know? This is what I learned, and hopefully you guys too. I will be back on again. I don't know when, but I will make a time where I will show up. And hopefully I'll have a little more with me than just saying, hey, how's it going? You know, let's talk about this today. But after all, this is the Dispenser Show. It's me, Spencer, aka Ismerl1987, as my gamer tag in most games. Have a good night, everyone, and make sure to subscribe. You know, it is easy. You know you want to. It's free. You never know. You just might like some more stuff down the road. Have a good night.